When Sony first rolled out its first handheld game console, they had no idea how weird things would get. I am the Game Collector, and this is Second Opinion Games, and today I say WTF PSP.
Second Opinion Games.
First up, we have What Did I Do to Deserve This, My Lord 2. On top of having one of the longest names in gaming, you also have some pretty deep gameplay. Switching the roles of a standard RPG, you play as the bad guy trying to create a dungeon and grow lots of monsters and try to kill the good guys and take over the world in the process. If you've never played the first game in this series, don't worry about it because it's pretty much included in this game, which was the sequel. And I gotta say, it's very addictive. It seems simple at first, but you really do have to balance how deep you go into the cave itself, about feeding other monsters to different monsters to make them stronger and more powerful, or just make a whole bunch of vampires and hope that they do the trick. This is an extremely interesting game and a lot of fun for all those puzzle RPG players out there, and it is certainly very weird. But if you want a little more action to your weirdness, then check out Pretties II, Dawn of Operation Panties Dude. What's a Prinny? Well, it's a little penguin that's rather prone to explode upon getting hit. He's also like the weakest thing in the entire universe, and when you make it to a boss battle, they just belittle you non-stop. Even when you win, somehow to them, you lose. Now, the controls are very similar to Super Ghouls and Ghosts on the Super Nintendo in the way that the double jump works. You don't really have full control over your movement when in air. And also, the controls are quite a bit better than the first game in the series. It's hard to put my finger on exactly what it is, but it's definitely more refined. What makes this game crazy, though, is the fact that the whole quest is trying to get your master's panties back, or she's gonna turn you into panties herself. And that is pretty freaking weird. Also, these Prinnies tend to say dude at the end of every sentence, and even though it might get on your nerves at first, it quickly grows on you. But one of the most interesting things about the game is that you can play the levels in nearly any order, and if you happen to beat a level, then all the other levels become more difficult, making the game dynamically change as you play through it, and making it one of the most difficult games of all times. You'd also start with 1,000 lives, and even when you use all of them, you just become more powerful and keep on playing. So even if you do lose all your lives, don't worry about it. There's still some game here. Nothing says weird, though, like Japan. That's why I gotta turn to Me and My Katamari. Yeah, it's Katamari Damashi, only for the PlayStation Portable. The controls are a little wonky and do take some getting used to, but rolling things up in a ball is definitely a lot of fun, especially when you have like cats and dogs and people getting rolled up, and beer bottles and other weird stuff. Also, you can kind of get the idea of what it's like living in Japan. I'm not saying that people are always rolling things up in balls in Japan. I'm just saying that the overall aesthetics of being in a Japanese world where the different restaurants and how the streets are laid out, it's kind of interesting. The music here is where the game really shines. It is full on freaking crazy, and some of the visuals will probably give you a seizure. Me and My Katamari is definitely a fun game, but maybe it's just a little bit too Japanese, if that is a thing. Another thing that's too Japanese is the Ultimate Muscle series and Dick Van Dyke, which is my favorite wrestler of all times. Yeah, I had to import this game, so all the menus are in Japanese. Luckily, you don't really need to know that much in order to work your way through them, because this is still a very fun wrestling game. Now, I have the game very similar to this on the Nintendo GameCube, and I gotta say, it's like the best, and this version is almost as good as that. Even if the graphics aren't quite there, you still have all of the great wrestling moves and tons more characters. It's definitely better than the PlayStation 2 version of Ultimate Muscle, and it definitely goes down as one of the best fighting games on the console. But it's not the only import that I had to track down. Check out Prometheus Portable. It's a collection of the different Prometheus games, and yes, the menus again are all in Japanese, but you'll have no problem working your way through them. All the Proteus games are kind of the same. Some of them are a little bit sexier than others, and all of them are just weird as heck. You could also play as a penguin in this game, and those people from Japan really love their penguins. And I don't even think there's any actual penguins in Japan, which is extra weird here. You could also play as a bunny rabbit girl humping a missile for some reason, shooting out other missiles, and even paper airplanes themselves. This is a heck of a good game, and it certainly deserves to have everyone playing it. And sadly, I don't think it actually got a US release. It also has one heck of an attractive mermaid. But if you want some really cute girls in one place, well then check out Dead or Alive Paradise. It seems like you're visiting Epstein's Island full of hot girls where you have to perv on them, take pictures of them, and play some mini games like blackjack or poker. You could also play a little bit of volleyball while you're here, and it's all about friendship in this game. Also, spying on the girls in their underwear. So, in order to create more friends, you have to remember to buy them presents. This is such great advice for the rest of your life. If you want girls to like you, all you have to do is buy them a lot of stuff and not be ugly. And then girls will just love you for, buying them stuff. It's very deep in its gameplay, and it is definitely one that makes you feel a little uncomfortable and has you say, what the F? But if you want a little bit more love, well then check out Pix'n Love Rush. This is a game that looks like a dot matrix style. It actually has a couple of different ways that you could play the game. One's a puzzle where you just move back and forth trying to collect sun and moon gems. Another one is just trying to make it as far as you can before you die. And another one where you just have to see how top of a score you could get in 5 minutes of gameplay, or just play forever and see how long you can make it until you just get hit so many times you die. This is a rather unusual game, and the art style is just weird as all heck, and it's really simple and certainly a good way to waste an afternoon. But when some games have you mindlessly running through levels, other ones have you using your brain to say, what the F? Check out Echo Shift. It's one of those games where you could only play for 30 seconds and then you start all over again, but this time your background shadow character is still doing the moves that they previously did, so it's a puzzle to try and get to the exit. The music here is very tranquil. It almost puts you to sleep and doesn't say that you have to move really fast at all. And when there's a lot of characters on screen, it just gets really weird. The graphics itself isn't anything to write home about, but it is definitely one awkward experience that has you having your brain melt. But if that game's too slow for you, check out One Epic Game. It's one of those runner games that's very fast-paced, blowing up aliens, only this time it has a full-on story, along with many different challenges that you have to try to complete. Try and clear a level without taking a shot and killing any aliens whatsoever, or another one where you have to kill a ton of them. One of them even has you trying to get up to 88 miles per hour, and this gets really freaking frustrating when it starts moving way too fast to even control your character properly. Heck, you could even get a jetpack in this game, like another game that I love on the PSP. Jetpack Joyride has got to be one of the most thrilling games I think I ever played. Again, it's one of those endless runners that aren't for everyone, but this one certainly is. The music is amped up to 11. Trying to get coins is extremely satisfying. There are tons of jetpacks to unlock, as well as other bonus features in this game. Tons of different enemies, and even things that you could ride in, like giant dragons or teleporting pods, even a motorcycle, and this has cool written over it at all stinking times. If you die, well then you can come back to life with some lives that you could purchase in the shop, or maybe you can just play a little bit of gambling in order to earn extra lives when you're playing through the game. And every single time you play it, you're just going to want to get a little bit farther. Yes, it's really weird, but it also happens to be a ton of fun. But if you're tired of just running to the right, how about jumping up? In what could be one of the most strangely addictive games that has a simple premise I think I ever played, take a look at Monsters Probably Stole My Princess. You play as the Duke, who's obviously a vampire. Now you have to jump up and destroy these evil monsters. And by evil, I mean not at all. Every time that you jump into a level, you're immediately greeted by a monster who seems to be doing something evil at first, but it turns out they're just trying to go about their lives and survive, and are extremely scared of the Duke himself, making you the biggest monster in this entire game. On top of it, I'm not sure what this vampire is trying to do with the princess that's his anyway. He probably just wants to eat her for himself. Now, when you play this game, it's all about creating combos. Trying to get on every single platform without touching the same platform more than once will give you a high combo. And when you have a high combo, when you eventually kill the monster on the stage, it will do a really epic takedown and give you a gold medal. Now, this game is full of different Easter eggs and stuff to find as you play through it and unlock, and it also has a very comical storyline with you just beating up all these monsters. This is one of the most fun WTF games I think I ever played, and it can be downloaded for like $5 and change. So this is one that you almost definitely have to have, and is certainly one of the weirdest games I think I ever played for my PlayStation Portable. But of course, that's just my opinion. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I had a great time making it. And what's with penguins in all these Japanese games? Here's another one I found rather late where it's a Yeti hitting a penguin with a baseball bat, and it flies through the air and you have to see how far you can glide as the penguin. It's just weird. I gotta say that the PlayStation Portable had a lot of really strange games for it, and I want to know what you think the strangest game was for this little system, or maybe even your favorite game in general for it. I know it was great for RPGs and has tons of great driving games, but what else is there? This is definitely one of the best handhelds probably ever, even if I do hate that stupid little circle disc pad thing on it. So hopefully you guys can leave me a message down below, and until later, I will see you again, guys.